Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing a bi-weekly astrological tarot reading by element. This is going to be for water signs. It was supposed to be for the 17th, but I was sick. So it's going to run from whenever it gets posted. I'm recording on the 22nd. May not be done until the 23rd. And it'll run through like the 30th or roughly October 1st. But that's just the time frame of when I'm recording it, so it's going to be, if it resonates for you after that, then, or relates to something past it's reminding of you, then that's fine. But in general, this is going to be from whenever it posts until the end of the month. And I'm doing water signs, so that's going to be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus rising. If you're being affected by Neptune retrograde, any kind of weird stuff that's going on with the moon, or Pluto, which is gonna go direct on the 4th of October, I think, so it's still retrograde right now. So if those energies are afflicting you or affecting you in any way, that's how it's gonna do. So the reading that I'm doing this week, I'm actually doing a double triptych door. So I'm going to get these cards laid out. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot here. Okay, I can only have one of these cards, so I'm going to shuffle them out again. I really want to get the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, but I've got gotta earn some more money here first. I really want those elemental hexagons too. It's like $50 and I haven't felt like risking that to try to purchase them. So this deck is my Twin Flame Pinnacle deck, and don't worry if you're not in a Twin Flame situation. It just means that the cards are labeled masculine or feminine on them, and it may or may not be relevant. It runs the cards from 9 through Ace, and there's 2 sets. Okay. And I'm going to get a card that's going to be a final card for this whole thing from the Aquarian Tarot, but I'll do that after. So let me get in here a little bit more, since I have the ability to zoom in on those a little bit. They're smaller than the last set I did. Check the focus. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this first set. I'm not supposed to look at that yet. Okay, so I have the 9 of Wands inverted. This is the moon in Sagittarius. Now, this is telling me moon energy, but I've got half moon here with the 9. And invert tells me sun energy. And then the Sagittarius energy is telling me the south node, but also Jupiter went direct just before this reading was supposed to have started. Now, it's in Capricorn, and Capricorn is still retrograde till the end of the month. Oh. Generally, the 9 of Wands is, how long is this going to take? I've been waiting forever. probably for illumination of some sort, right? This is, I want to wake up from the nightmare. I want to go somewhere else. And now we have a 10. 10 of Swords, upright. The Sun in Gemini, okay? So I have the North node here, the South node here, Moon energy that's inverted telling me Sun, and now I have Sun here, right? So we're dealing with lighting up something that's going on between the nodes, right? We're dealing with like a pole-to-pole kind of a thing, right? We're trying to encompass like all levels of something, right? We're not doing, we don't want to move laterally. We want to move on in a way that gives us upward movement. Now 19 breaks down to the Sun again. Here I have feminine energy and here I have masculine energy. So the sides are balanced. They're both trying to get this sort of daybreak energy. Now the Moon is a feminine planet coming in with feminine energy, but wants to be with the Sun because, partly because Venus is in Leo right now. And then the masculine energy, okay, I want to move on, I'm tired of waiting. Masculine energy, stick a fork in me, I'm done. A similar sentiment. You know, like I'm giving up my post, or I don't need to wait anymore because this person has finally completed their, or this energy has finally completed their battle of needing to get into their pain, right? It's because usually this is like a pain card, but it's also completion. So let's see what the unifying element is. So you have the Devil inverted. All right, so here's the Saturn retrograde. The Devil card normally has a masculine and a feminine on it, and they're usually bound. Here, it's coming in with this Capricornian energy. Notice this is sort of like hot-footing it. But it's like the temperature's rising. I'm getting a little bit of It's Raining Men, the song. Something about the temperature's rising, just about to blow a fuse. Now this is 15, which breaks down to 6, which could be the Lovers, Gemini energy again, but it could also be healing. But there's also this energy of release. Right? The feminine energy is like, I'm not taking on this burden, I'm going to... It's like, I'm not giving up, but I know that it's time to stop waiting around. And the masculine energy didn't realize they were hitting the limit of whatever was binding them until that final sword went in, that final, you know, sort of a final truth moment, to that final needle going in. I see 9-10 as a ramping up. I see 10-15 as a ramping up. Okay, so there's a healing that has to do with breaking yourself out of something by hitting a limit, right? It's like a function, the limit of f of x, which I don't really remember because it's been a long time since I took calculus. Logarithm. Okay. This is still in focus. They fucked that up a little bit. I think it's alright. So let's look at this other triptych door here. So we have the King of Wands inverted, related to feminine energy. Interesting. King of Wands energy, Cancer and Leo. Okay, so we have the moon again, combined with sun energy again, with the feminine energy being in there in a reverse position. But here it's giving me Empress energy again. Why the hell? I do not want this moth flapping around at me while I'm fucking reading. I'm sure it's a messenger of some kind, but I don't like the energy. It's spastic and it disturbs my calm. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the flying ball of flappy, nervous bullshit. Damn it, I just swallowed some air. I mean, I got some water in my lungs. So the King of Wands here, being run by the feminine, is inverted. It's like the feminine energy was trying to hold, well, I don't need to go back to that yet, but the feminine energy is trying to hold the line of like a purpose or a passion or some kind of directive in a masculine energy, and that's probably why it's inverted. So this sun-moon duality, feminine energy trying to hold the balance of the light and the dark by herself, out of balance because of it, King inverted, a 1 or a 14, right? No magic happening, no balance happening. Wondering when it's going to stop, although this is supposed to be somewhat separate, but they're still connected. And the 5, the 1 and the 4 breaking down to 5 is this idea of I need to go left here and get away from this situation. I need to do something else. I need to shift. I need to change gears here. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if they were both going to come out as masculine on this side, but they have. So we have the 9 of Cups with the masculine energy. Now this is upright, and this is inverted. But the letters I've written are going the opposite way because I wasn't really paying attention when I wrote it down. Now, 9 of Cups upright is contentment. But the fact that the direction of the card and the direction of the writing are opposite might mean that it's like I'm out of my element a little bit here, right? Emotional contentment for the masculine. Now, what's interesting is that I have a 9 echoing this 9 over here, although this upright is more of a dreams than a nightmares. Right? So the feminine energy is trying to hold the line for some kind of vision by herself, and this masculine energy is over here like just kind of swimming in his feelings, feeling jolly good. Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, so we have this Sagittarian energy here again. Pisces is Neptune energy. Just trying to figure something else out. The Moon card. Okay. The Moon card is also Piscean energy, which is interesting because it's like the masculine's doing kind of whatever he wants. He's in the sun here, but he's just in the moon over here. He's getting this, okay, he's getting solar energy from Sagittarius, even though it's ruled by Jupiter, it's a fire elemental. Right, so it's sort of like he's He's hitting sun energy here. And he's hitting moon energy here. And it's like, he's sort of like one off the mark from hitting sun energy. It's like, oh yeah, well, I'm supposed to be balanced, but I feel pretty good here. I feel lucky. You know, I feel like I can win at some game here. But he's still out of his element, right? Because he's in the moon energy instead of the sun energy. So let's see what this unifier is. Wow, the Chariot inverted. Okay. Shadow effects here. Okay, now what's interesting is that the Chariot horse here has the moon, there's the sun behind, but the horse is wearing a pentacle, and this goat has a pentacle on his head. So I have an animal with 4 feet that's inverted. $15 breaks down to 6. 6 and 10, Tower. 7 and 9, 16, Tower. 5 and 9, 14, Balance. 9 and 6, 15, Devil energy again. 14 and 9 is 23, breaks down to 5, and 7 is 12. That's Hermit energy, that's Neptune again. Now this is the moon, but it's inverted, so that's the sun again. So I kind of feel like in this instance, the masculine energy feels good, only doing part of the work, and the feminine energy feels fully out of balance, trying to carry, you know, more of the, like the half of the moon energy and the sun energy besides. And it's not to say, you know, the masculine energy is lazy, because obviously they've got, like on this part, they've got a rough, like a more painful burden. But in this part, they're having a good time. They're feeling pretty good. But their movement is stalled out, relating to this balance, right? Half of the king is the 7. Tower moment. No, the Tower is actually Aries energy, which is the other fire element. With Sagittarius, we have Leo. And the towers that are popping up here is that Mars retrograde in Aries energy. But I feel like the difference between these is ego and inner child. Releasing the inner child, but the ego is still like, I need to do all this, the work in my energy, and I'm having a good time in my energy, but we're not really going forward, and this Tower is going to keep pulling the energy in towards the masculine side until that Mars retrograde in Aries energy is resolved, right? Because Venus, the feminine energy, was already retrograde and had her turn, which is why we see these lopsided in this way. Now, we're just coming into to Libra energy, and we were just in Virgo energy. The message that I was getting lately is that, not the maiden, god damn it, Virgo is like the inner child of the Empress. Venus is the Empress. Now, and Venus rules Libra as well. Mercury is in Libra. Libra's ruled by Venus. the Empress. And Mercury, while it can be Gemini, is also the ruling sign of Virgo, right? So Virgo is in the house of the Empress right now, and is sort of being consumed and nurtured and schooled and balanced out by her own adult self. And it's sort of like the final phase of feminine healing, where the masculine energy is sort of face to face with his own ego, because Mars is retrograde in Aries. So not only was he sort of tete-a-tete with his ego, but now he's being turned inside out, which is why we see these 10 swords here. But the ego still thinks they're going to get away with it. They're like, no, we're having a good time here. Meanwhile, the self, or the child self, is feeling the sting of this gallivanting. So the unifier between these is the Page of Rods. So we're seeing this overburden, out of balance Wands energy that the feminine was sort of burdened with, right? It's a masculine suit. That's why it's sort of not in balance here. We have an 11. It could also be a 1. It's sort of reduction. 2 11s, sort of, if you're close one eye and you're not getting that double vision, you get a 1. But 11 is also the twin flame number. Again, this isn't necessarily a twin flame reading just because I'm using my twin flame deck. It's the union of opposites is also what the 11 does. But a page can be a 1 or an 11. Okay. Page of Wands energy is summer energy. Earth of fire. So we're trying to ground the fire, which we see on this devil card here. But it's also this idea of when these things are balanced. It kind of looks like a chaos emerald. When these things are balanced, what comes out of it is this sort of neophyte, youthful energy that's ready to set out with the true core being. Would resolve the different fragments of masculine and feminine energy in the ego, in the inner child, and in yourself as a consciousness. You create this new unified being who might not be so sure in what they're doing, but they have the true core, right? They're carrying the nuclear reactor. It's the truth, but it's coming from the gut, right? It's not the truth coming from my head. It's not the truth coming from my heart. It's not the truth coming out of the pores of my body itself. It's the truth of the core. Okay, so this is what's happening for water elements, which was interesting because the only thing that's coming in really is the moon and then this cups here, which should be contentment. And it came in upright, but it was sort of in an egoic, I'm not going to do my homework. I'm going to go, play skee ball or something and have a great time and hang out with my friends in a bonfire and smoke some weed. That's the kind of energy that this particular Nine of Cups is giving me. Okay, so water elements. It is the dark and the light coming into balance in a particular way. If you want to get a personal reading, you can make sure my sign is in focus. My tripod's getting weak. Okay, so you can hit me up there, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. thecatcamebackatcamp.com. I have a complete list of readings and how much they cost in the description box of my infomercial video, which is going to be linked below this one. If you want to help contribute to my channel, you can come and hang out with me at Patreon and see exclusive content there. You can also hit the tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. I've got merch and prints, coloring books. I've got a poetry book that's like Dark Night of the Soul kind of stuff. The complete list of readings. Did I say that already? The complete list of readings I offer, how much they cost, and all this information is going to be in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. And all of this information, including the catalog link to made-to-order stuff and a la carte pieces, that's also with that information. Why is this tripod being such a piece of shit? There. Okay. All that's gonna be with that information, and any other questions, or you're not sure what I was just doing, you can email me there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out the discussion tab and the playlists tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.